18 cents per mile. That's Tesla's Cybercab cost versus Uber's $2 per mile. In exactly 130 days, April 2026, mass production begins. Not prototypes, not concepts, real autonomous taxis already testing on Austin streets with no steering wheel. The 500-mile semi, already crushing diesel economics at major fleets like Walmart and PepsiCo. But here's what's terrifying Uber and Waymo. What happens when your ride costs less than a bus ticket? And why is Tesla the only company with steering wheel-free vehicles approved by NHTSA? Look, I've been covering Tesla for years, but even I had to double-check when I saw these Cybercab operating costs. 18 cents per mile. I kept thinking there must be a catch, some hidden expense they're not counting. But when you actually break it down, it's almost insulting how simple the math is. Traditional ride-hailing burns $1.50 to $2.50 per mile between driver wages, insurance, and vehicle depreciation. Tesla removes the driver. Boom, biggest expense gone. Energy drops from 12 cents per mile in gas cars to 3 to 5 cents in electricity. There's no accounting trick here. It's just brutal economic reality. And here's what keeps me up at night. Tesla's building these things for under $30,000, while Waymo spends over $200,000 per vehicle. When Musk says 2 million cybercabs by 2026, people roll their eyes like it's another overpromise. But the gigafactories already exist. The production lines are being installed right now. I've seen the drone footage. The real question nobody wants to ask is whether Waymo can build even 100,000 units at any price. I'm betting they can't, and their silence on production numbers tells you everything. This Waymo situation would be funny if it wasn't so embarrassing for them. December 2021, they announced steering wheel-free Zeekr robo-taxis with beautiful concept renders. Everyone got excited about the future finally arriving. 4 years later, not one vehicle without a steering wheel on public roads. Zero. Every Waymo in San Francisco still has conventional controls, basically admitting their software isn't ready for purpose-built autonomous vehicles. Meanwhile, Tesla deployed 135 actually steering wheel-free cybercabs that racked up 550,000 miles since June. 6 months versus 10 years. The contrast is almost painful to watch. And it's not just about time, it's about fundamental approach. Waymo's entire strategy depends on pre-mapping every street, every curb, every traffic light in high-definition detail. Works great until construction changes a lane or a traffic light fails. Then their vehicles just freeze up, blocking intersections while remote operators scramble to help. I saw a video last week of a Waymo crossing double yellow lines into oncoming traffic. Another one forgot to signal before turning. These aren't rare glitches. Users are posting these problems regularly. After 10 years and billions invested, basic driving errors are still happening. Tesla's FSD isn't perfect either, but it's learning to drive the way humans do, by seeing and adapting. Recent footage shows cybercabs navigating apartment parking lots they've never seen before, reading temporary construction signs, finding empty spaces without any database. Waymo literally cannot do this. Their system needs everything preloaded or it's lost. Here's something that slipped past most people. NHTSA approved Tesla's steering wheel-free design for 2026 production. Tesla is now the only automaker authorized to build vehicles without conventional controls. Not Waymo with their decade of testing, not GM-backed Cruise, not the Chinese companies burning government subsidies, just Tesla. And NHTSA doesn't hand out approvals on promises. They require extensive safety validation first. Those 20 cybercabs people keep spotting in Austin and California, pre-production certification units. At Giga, Texas, 16 crashed cybercabs with deployed airbags sit in the testing facility. Each one represents data proving the structure, airbag timing, and collision response meet federal standards without a steering wheel to fall back on. April 2026 isn't optimistic projection anymore. It's a regulatory deadline Tesla's actively clearing through systematic testing. What's brilliant is Tesla's running both Cybercabs and Model Y robotaxis simultaneously. The Bay Area fleet hit 1,655 vehicles, targeting 2,000 test trips before launch. They're not betting everything on one design. Cybercabs handle the 90% of rides with 1 or 2 passengers at minimum cost. Model 3s and Ys cover larger groups. It's economically optimized for actual trip patterns instead of building one vehicle trying to do everything. That's why Tesla profits while competitors drown in losses. I'll admit, I was skeptical about the Semi's real-world performance. The claims seemed too good. Then ABF Freight published actual data. 4,494 miles over 3 weeks, 1.55 kilowatt hours per mile energy consumption. That's significantly better than Tesla's own 2 kilowatt hour estimate. These weren't easy routes either. Donner Pass, 7,200 feet elevation, sustained climbs that make diesel trucks struggle. The Semi maintained highway speeds fully loaded at 75,000 pounds the whole time. PepsiCo, DHL, and Walmart now run over 300 semis daily with confirmed 500-mile range on full loads. The 1.2 megawatt charging recovers 70% battery in 30 minutes, which perfectly matches mandatory driver rest periods. At the 2023 Run on Less competition, Tesla semis logged over 1,000 miles in single days, while Freightliner and Volvo electric trucks managed only a few hundred. These aren't promotional numbers. This is industry-standard testing with independent witnesses. The secret is aerodynamics most people don't appreciate. The Semi's 0.36 drag coefficient is half what conventional diesel tractors achieve. At highway speeds, that difference is massive. Every 0.02 drag reduction yields 5 to 7% energy savings, adding dozens of miles per charge. The Gen 2 Semi targets 0.33 or lower. Tesla's achieving passenger car aerodynamics in an 80,000-pound truck, something the industry said was impossible 5 years ago. And they didn't do it through magic, just relentless engineering iteration based on real fleet data. While everyone debates whether Tesla can execute, the Nevada Semi factory is being built right now. Not planned, not proposed, actually constructed. Exteriors complete. Drone footage shows heavy equipment being installed for production lines. Dan Priestley confirmed mass production ramps throughout 2026, which in manufacturing language means initial runs start soon, not years away. Target capacity is 50,000 units annually. That's serious industrial scale. Compare that to the competition. Ford retreated from the all-electric F-150 Lightning, shifting to hybrids. Nikola faces bankruptcy speculation. Rivian burns cash with minimal production. Chinese manufacturers can't export their trucks because they don't meet U.S. safety standards or achieve competitive range. Every legacy manufacturer announced electric trucks with fanfare, then quietly scaled back when engineering reality hit their budgets. Tesla's structural battery architecture is the technical advantage that explains this gap. The 850 kilowatt-hour pack isn't bolted on. It's a load-bearing structural element the chassis is built around. This eliminates redundant framework weight, lowers center of gravity, and distributes crash forces better. The 4,680 cells enable sustained high current discharge without overheating on long climbs. This isn't theory, it's validated across hundreds of thousands of fleet miles, while competitors are still testing prototypes. People keep saying Tesla should have added more Cybercab seats, and it drives me crazy because they're missing the entire point. Real taxi data is clear. Over 90% of trips carry one passenger. Most of the rest carry 2. Every additional unused seat is dead weight consuming energy and wearing tires across millions of miles. Those inefficiencies compound into cost differences that determine profitability. The Cybercab's narrow width isn't compromise, it's precision, exactly as wide as needed for comfort and safety, not 1 millimeter more. Larger rear wheels optimize traction. Frameless doors reduce parts count by 40% while improving access. Even the trunk size acknowledges passengers travel with luggage. Every single design choice minimizes dollar per mile operating cost while maintaining passenger experience. Tesla's modeling suggests $200 monthly subscriptions for unlimited rides. At 18 cents per mile, that covers 1,111 miles, more than most people drive. Under Uber's current model, that same mileage costs over $2,000 before tips. This isn't gradual disruption. It's a cliff where one economic model survives and the other becomes uncompetitive overnight. Users will figure out they're overpaying, and when they do, the shift will be sudden and brutal. Forget marketing claims. Look at actual performance. Tesla's FSD navigates apartment driveways, finds parking spaces not in any database, reads temporary construction signs. The regenerative braking response times on video are faster than human drivers typically achieve. It's not flawless, there are interventions needed, but it's been deployed less than 6 months. Waymo, after 10 years, still makes basic errors. Lane marking violations, missing turn signals, blocking intersections. These aren't testimonials. They're operational reports from companies betting their supply chains on this technology and now expanding orders based on measured results. April 2026 is 130 days away. 16 Cybercabs crash testing at Giga, Texas. Semi-production lines installing in Nevada. 4,680 batteries ramping for both programs. NHTSA approval secured. This isn't Tesla time, slipping quarters or years. This is coordinated execution with visible, verifiable progress. Waymo's steering wheel-free vehicle remains conceptual. Uber burns billions on driver subsidies. Traditional automakers quietly scale back EV commitments. The gap isn't narrowing, it's accelerating. And here's what nobody wants to admit. Even if competitors match Tesla's technology tomorrow, they'd still need 3 to 5 years minimum to build equivalent manufacturing capacity. Gigafactories can't be replicated quickly. Equipment has year-long lead times. Workforce training takes months. Tesla's advantage grows deeper while competitors burn cash trying to catch up. The autonomous market won't be won by who demonstrated technology first. It's about who can scale profitably. Waymo loses money despite limited deployment. Cruise shut down entirely. Chinese robo-taxis need government subsidies to survive. Tesla controls the complete stack: vehicle design, manufacturing, batteries, software, charging infrastructure. That vertical integration isn't just efficient, it's the only proven path to profitability. The semi's disruption is even simpler. When your truck costs less per mile than diesel, charges during mandatory rest breaks, needs minimal maintenance, and matches diesel performance, fleet operators have no choice. They're not making emotional decisions, they're calculating total cost of ownership. The semi wins on economics before considering emissions or PR. So when Tesla announces 2 million Cybercabs and 50,000 semis, they're not predicting. They're publishing manufacturing plans backed by completed factories, regulatory clearances, and validated technology. Competitors still debate if it's realistic, while Tesla ships pre-production units. That's the difference between companies that build things and companies that announce things. And that gap is measured in years and billions of dollars that define who survives what's no longer coming, but already here. Here's what it all comes down to. 18 cents per mile versus $2 per mile. That's not a competition, it's an execution. When Tesla starts production in April 2026, just 130 days from now, Ride-hailing economics break permanently. Uber and Lyft can't subsidize their way out of a tenfold cost disadvantage. The semi at 500 miles and lower operating costs than diesel means trucking's century-old business model ends this year, not someday. This isn't hype. It's manufacturing capacity meeting regulatory approval, meeting validated technology. The factories are built. NHTSA clearance is secured. Fleet data from PepsiCo and Walmart proves the performance. Competitors spent the last decade planning while Tesla spent it building. Within 12 months, we'll know if 2 million Cybercabs and 50,000 semis actually roll off production lines. My analysis says yes, and the implications reshape transportation permanently. What happens to your city when robo-taxis cost less than bus fare? Will you still own a car in 2030? Drop your prediction in the comments. I read every one. If this analysis added value, hit that like button. Subscribe to Tesla Zone for deep dive coverage as this unfolds. Turn on notifications so you catch our next breakdown when production numbers start dropping. The transportation revolution isn't coming, it's shipping from factories right now, and we're tracking every unit.